Hello. Yeah. First of all, good morning, good noon, good afternoon to everyone present here. I would like to officially welcome each one of you from the Poultry Press, from the General Press, to all my key account managers and esteemed distributors and the guests from overseas. Once again, welcome you all to India and a city called Hyderabad, which is not only a IT city, but also a poultry city, having a long history of poultry here. So officially welcome you all. Before we start a press conference, I would like to introduce each member of from HIPRA. First of all, I would like to welcome Mr. Peter C. Please come and have a seat here, sir. Mr. Peter is a Zone Director for Asia and Oceania. Then I would like to call Ms. Panisha Thana Hiranchai. She is Regional Manager for Asia. Please have a seat, ma'am. I would like to also call Mr. Tara Subramaniam, sir. Please come here and seat. He is a MD of Tara Enterprises as well as Tara Group. And I am Dr. Shyam Vane, Business Manager responsible for India. So I would like to give a mic to Mr. Tara Subramaniam, sir, to have a few words here about this press conference. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to you all. My name is D.S. Subramaniam. I'm based out of Hyderabad, this city of Nizam, the hub of Indian poultry industry, and the host distributor for HIPRA India. I welcome HIPRA India to this great city of Hyderabad. And Hyderabad, as you all know, is the largest layer poultry industry in the country, as well as the biggest broiler breeder industry also in the country. And I've been in this industry for almost 4 decades now. And the industry in India is 4.5 decades. So I've been with this industry when the farming was 500 birds, 1,000 birds. A 10,000 birds farm was the biggest layer farm in the country days, early, let us say, 1980s, late 70s. Today, the biggest farm, layer farm in India is as big as 7 million birds. So India has grown from 10,000 layer birds to 7 million layer birds in 4.5 decades. That's a great thing, and it's growing very well. The consumption of eggs, the consumption of meat is doing quite well. Now, HIPRA also is one of the oldest biologicals company in the world, from Europe, from Spain. They are more than 5 decades old in the business. And it took some time for them to come to India, but they have now come to India. They are launching the poultry vaccines from the biggest poultry city of India in a very big way. They have some good vaccines right now. Many more excellent vaccines are in the pipeline. And the best person to brief you about HIPRA and its activities, past, present, and future, I request Mr. Peter Say to please take over. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Subramaniam. And thank you, all of you here today, for giving us the opportunity to explain more about HIPRA, what HIPRA is doing in the animal health industry worldwide, and then very specially, what does how can HIPRA contribute to the Indian animal health industry. So what we will be doing now is I will be briefing you about HIPRA worldwide for around 15 minutes. After that time, you may have questions. So I will be sitting down again, and then you can address a question to any member of the panel here. So we'll start. This is our logo. You can see it there. The reference in prevention for animal health. It's a simple sentence, but it says a lot of things about HIPRA. Now, to make it short and concise, we have prepared a video for you. It does not take more than 4 minutes, but it represents very well what HIPRA is about around the world. So we'll do this video, and then we'll continue with the conference itself.
We are an animal health company and animal health only. At HIPRA, we are convinced that the future lies in prevention.
We've learned to say no to what's not really our core business. We know what we want to be, but more important, we know what we don't want to be.
Many years ago, we decided not to invest in generic products because innovation is the key word for us. We are putting our brain and passion to develop vaccines that are different.
The values on which HIPRA was founded remain true today: excellence, credibility, and optimism.
We are extremely self-demanding and non-conformist by nature.
Perseverance and a spirit of self-improvement are part of our DNA.
We look at challenges as an opportunity for growth.
We are the animal health company that has launched the largest number of vaccines lately, and we will continue to do so in the future.
We do not manufacture for other companies, and we do not distribute products which are not made by us.
The difference in HIPRA is because we know everything about our products, because we do the research, the development, the production, the marketing, and the servicing all by ourselves.
We know what our customers expect from us and from our products.
We are pioneers offering diagnostic services to our customers with the latest technologies, and also in offering educational programs on strategic areas of interest to professionals.
I feel confident in asking you to trust in HIPRA.
The accuracy in our production process guarantees that we are a reliable partner.
We continuously improve our logistic processes in order to be increasingly efficient.
Supplying products to more than 100 countries over the world requires excellence beyond standards.
We are the only company in the industry that in the last 4 years has turned from an export organization into a multinational company.
Our aim is to reach the point where every customer in any country in the world perceives HIPRA as an innovative and leading company in animal health.
And a trusted partner with whom success and progress are guaranteed.
We are always very close to our customers. We are always there, not only selling or promoting our products, but for offering services to make their jobs easier.
We are working for animals, but in the end we are working with people.
The complexity of our business requires us to simplify processes.
We have a flat organization, so decisions are taken quickly and directly by the people involved in the solution.
No matter how big or small an idea is, it is always taken into consideration.
Our priority is to provide quality employment.
We are a multicultural and fast-growing company where talented people will find the future.
We are a different company because we want to be different.
I feel confident in asking you to trust in HIPRA.
So, okay, I believe that now you have already a better idea about what HIPRA is about, and we will explain a little bit more about it. So, as you have seen, we have a strong focus on prevention. We claim to be a reference in prevention. But what does that exactly mean, to be a reference in prevention? Well, first of all, if you look at our sales, you will see that already 82% of our total turnover is done with biological products. That's a lot. If you compare to competitors or to the standards of this industry, this is more than any other company. And the percentage is going up all the time. Why? Because all the products that we have in the pipeline, all those new products that we are adding are exclusively vaccines. This means that the weight of the vaccines on the total is going up all the time. So if we're back in 2 years, maybe this will be no longer 82, it will be 90%. Okay? Also, together with this reference in prevention is the fact that we produce our own range of diagnostic ELISA kits. We use these kits in our laboratories mainly. And a third element that indicates that we are focused on prevention is our diagnostic services. We have 10 diagnostic labs around the world, many of them, I think now 7 in Asia, and we give this service, it's mainly PCR analysis that we do, we give this service free of charge to our customers. Now, right now, we don't have this yet in India, but for sure, this is one of our commitments to bring this level of services to India as soon as we can. On the other hand, we want to come up with differentiated products. You know what the difficulty is in this industry? You have to try to foresee in time. Let's say if there's one good idea for a new product for India, let's say somebody comes up with an idea, we need 6 to 7 years to develop the product. You cannot get around it. It's 6 or 7 years. You need 2 years to register it in Europe because we cannot develop it and take it immediately to India. No, we have to register first, compulsory, mandatory, in Europe before we register in India. So once the registration in Europe is completed, we'll bring it to India. This means that from the time we have a good idea until we have this product available here, we will have not less than 10 or 11 years. This means that we have to try to think, at least to try, about how the animal health market will be like in 10 years from now, not the way it is right now. We have to try to foresee the future. Another thing I would like to draw your attention to, and especially here in India, where we are new to the market, is that we are an independent company. This is a family-owned company. The shares are owned by the family and some employees. The company is not on sale, has never been on sale, and will not be on sale. This is a family-owned company. The family is extremely happy with what the company is delivering in terms of results, and they're thinking about the next generation. And so we will continue to be an independent company. Also, we are exclusively focused on animal health. If you look at HIPRA today, and you want to make a one-sentence short statement, you could say that we are a biological, poultry, cattle, and swine company. That is quite a good summary. This is 95% of our activity today, okay? Now, let's have a look where HIPRA is positioned today. So on the screen, you see the world map. In blue are the areas where we have our own subsidiary. So we have 38 subsidiaries in 38 countries around the world. We have 2 production plants. The main one is in Spain, and we have a smaller one in Brazil. We have 3 R&D centers, amongst one in the US, and we have 10 diagnostic centers. As I already indicated to you, this is part of our DNA. Now, maybe at this time I want to point out, why are we coming now to India? Why has HIPRA taken, maybe in the view of some people, such a long time to come to HIPRA? I think it's 2 things that are coming together. First of all, we wanted to make sure that we have the correct range of products, and especially that what we have in the pipeline for the next years is fitting the Indian market with the potential of bringing something completely new. This is the first thing. And the other thing, the other factor is maybe even more important. India is not only an important country on itself. That's quite, I think, very easy to understand. It's a huge country. You have now maybe the largest population in the world already. But it's not only that. The poultry industry in India is worldwide regarded as being more and more professional all the time. So it's not only the size of the country that matters. It's also the fact that there is a worldwide belief that this is the right moment to go to India, because the Indian poultry industry is now getting very professional. Okay? Then I want to say something about our company in terms of R&D. If you are focused on prevention, research and development is very important. We spend around 10% of our total turnover on R&D, 10%. And I can share the total turnover with you. We're around $350 million US, that's our turnover. 10% goes to R&D. But in terms of people, it's even more. 16% of our employees, that means 1 person out of 6 in our organization, that is more than 300 in total, works in either R&D or regulatory affairs in our company. Okay? Now, I want to show this image to you because I've been talking about vaccines until now, but it's not only vaccines. More and more, HIPRA is surrounding its biological products with other added value services that we are offering to our market. Here you see an example of a concept that has been brought to the world by HIPRA in the last years. It's called smart vaccination. It is a medical device, like it can be a cabinet sprayer, but it's not only the device. What we have done in HIPRA is to provide it with a software in order for the producer, the end user, to have traceability on the use of its vaccines. In other words, if you use a spray cabinet like this for one of our vaccines, there is a chip inside the label of the vial that while you are vaccinating, it sends information online in real time to the manager or to the production manager, saying that, for instance, you have 50 doses in this vial, there are already 30 doses used, still 20 doses are left, this is the batch number, this is the vaccination speed, the employee who is doing the vaccination is this or this person, and the next vaccination should preferably be taking place this or this date. So it's a full concept. It's the device itself, plus the software that allows you to have traceability on your own operations. But it's not only smart vaccination and medical devices. We are, I think, known around the world for our technical services. This is very important, this technical service, because I have been introducing you, telling that we are focused on vaccines. And vaccines are technical products, so we need to endorse you, give you support whenever we have any technical questions. So we will be paying a lot of attention in India to give you the appropriate technical support. Other than that, we have things like HIPRA University. HIPRA University is a professional workshop in which we gather global key opinion leaders along with very technical and scientific persons and users around a specific topic. This could be just, for instance, dairy cow mastitis. So we gather all these people, we do a very technical seminar, and this is endorsed by several universities around the world. Spanish universities, we have the University of Nottingham, we have the University of York, we have already some Chinese university in this panel. So this is a certified thing. And also, very much sticking into our prevention strategy, we want to bring to India our concept of Origins. Origins is a program in which we help the producer to level up his production and to reduce the use of antibiotics all the way through his process, step by step. We come together with a technical team, we check on many parameters together with the user, we define objectives for the next phase in which we reduce the antibiotics until a certain extent, and we replace them by biological products, by other type of checkings. And then we come back with our technical team, we check again on how are these parameters now. If everything is okay, we will draw an action plan to move to the next level. And so we go up and up and up, until at the very end, we have already some success stories in which we can help our producer. They can now officially claim that they produce completely antibiotic-free. Okay? So this is just the medical devices, the technical service, the HIPRA University, the Origins. These are some of the ideas of the added value services that HIPRA offers around the world, and that for sure we have an intention to bring to India as soon as possible as well. Now, I also want to say something about our quality. We have, of course, GMP approved production plants with very high standards. We have been audited, I think, by around more or less all the authorities in the world. We have been audited by the Korean people, by the Japanese people, by the American people, by the English. So we have, it's very high quality, and it's not only the production center itself. In the production of the vaccines, we build quality standards that can be measured in every stage of the process. And we do not only check on the final quality of the vaccine. Of course, we check on the final quality, but not only there. We check at every single stage of this process to make sure that the vaccine really corresponds to the needs of the market. And then the last part of this conference, I would like to dedicate some words to the most important, which is India. We are here in India. At this stage, I want to thank the network of distributors who are working with us, and the people, like our business manager, Sean Vane, but all the people in our organization for setting up a very professional team in a very short time. Okay? The commitment from HIPRA with India is that we will do whatever it takes to bring the best and the most novel vaccines to India from now onwards. So we will spend time and money to bring new vaccines that can be helpful for the industry. We want to listen to the animal health industry in India and learn from you what you expect from a supplier like us. And I think in the first phase you will see a lot of new products coming in the next 2 years in the poultry segment, but gradually it will also be opened to cattle vaccines, and in a third phase, companion animals as well. So you will see a lot of that. And I want to end by pointing out the most important point for any company, and that is the human team. Even if we have very good vaccines and very nice added value services, we're strongly convinced that it's the human team, the people, that really makes the difference. And that is why we entrust HIPRA India to the business manager and to the network of distributors that we have carefully selected and from which we are expecting a lot of cooperation. And let me end with our values. Our values are excellence, optimism, and credibility. Okay? Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for giving HIPRA the opportunity to explain about ourselves. And I hope we can respond in kind and help you with the future solutions for the daily trouble that you have in your farms here in India. Thank you very much to everybody.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for the nice and brief presentation, addressing all the queries. Now the time for the question and answer session. I would like to request the press that to ask some questions if you have.
We wish you all the best. I think we had nice words about your company and your products and services. And you said that, HIPRA spends, 10% of your company's turnover. Is it on the turnover or on the profits?
Very good question. It's on the turnover.
Turnover.
It's on the turnover, yes.
Oh, well, now usually, companies, they spend from the profits, but you spend from the total turnover.
We spend from the total turnover because we are so much focused on new vaccines. So I can share not all the details of the future projects, but to give you an idea about the size, we have around 45 projects for vaccines in the pipeline right now. This is spanning a period of the next 7-8 years, 45 vaccines. Of course, down the road, some of those projects will not be successful. You can never be 100% successful in an R&D process. But we are deeply convinced that if we want to be strong in prevention, which we want to be, what we need to do is to invest a lot of time and money in those new products.
Mr. Peter, we welcome you to India, and we hope that your products will certainly help the Indian industry. And then particularly you said one thing, that you will get some alternative arrangements for vaccination, because world is wanted to get free, antibiotic free vaccinations. So in that you said biological, some alternative measures you are going to take it. Will you please elaborate?
So I just want to make sure I understand right the question. You want to know more about origins, how this, yes. About origins, yes. Well, this origins is a very complex program. We have been implementing it successfully in some countries, like not only Spain or home countries, but for instance also in Thailand, where we are working together with with a couple of the major players in the Thai poultry industry. The thing is, at the beginning, we check on not just tens of parameters. We check a team of HIPRA along with the customer. We check on hundreds of parameters, like on the current conditions, the quality of the water, even how the neighbor is producing. There are so many things that intervene, and we draw up an initial status saying like, your farm is now on level, I don't know, level 4. In order to improve, we have to do in the next 3 or 4 months this and this and this and this and this action together. And then after these 3 months, we come back with our team, along with your own team, and we check again on the status. If these parameters are achieved, then maybe we're already moved from level 4 to level 3. So then we set a new set of objectives with new actions in order to move to level 2. And so we go to the very last stage where we can completely eliminate antibiotics. Now, to tell you the truth of the matter, in some cases, we get to the stage where we completely eliminate antibiotics. But in some stages, and I have to be very honest with you about this, we cannot reach the complete elimination of antibiotics. Maybe we'll have reduced it by 95%, but not 100%. We cannot make this last step. But anyway, even so, the journey is worth to be made, because your farm, you will know many more things about your own farm, because we have checked on so many parameters. You will have reduced the use of antibiotics drastically, and you will be producing at a much higher and even more efficient level than before. The downside of it is that it's very labor intensive, extremely labor intensive, and we sign, of course, an agreement, but there must be an understanding of transparency of data sharing between the company and us, because if not, we have to walk into the farms to check together with the people on this. So it's not so easy, but we believe it's the future. If you see, I'm not talking only Europe, if you go to Thailand, you see already meat branded antibiotic-free in the supermarket, and this has a premium price. So we believe that this is, it's not the only thing, but it is part of the future.
Hi sir, this is M.K. Vyas from Hind Poultry. I would like to know from Mr. Shyam, how many portfolios you are introducing to begin with? And the second question is, have you made any trials in Indian market?
So, first of all, currently we are having 5 brands in India, registered in India. One is ND Clone, then ND Clone plus IB H120, then first time Gumboro Clone, and then 2 inactivated vaccines. One is Coryza killed, and another is Salmonella killed. These are the 5 brands which are available, and there are so many in pipeline which are going to introduce later this year and also in 2020. As far as trials are concerned, as the protocol, if you see, Mr. Peter also mentioned that the products, unless and until we try it first in Europe, we cannot import it to any other country outside Europe. So trials, not only today, from the very, we can say, early stage we start. In India, currently the trials are in process. Already farmers are using the products. They are reached to the farm's door right now. and we are hopefully very optimistic about the results and everything. So this is all about the update about till date. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shyam, and all the best. Hello.
Okay, thank you for the question. We don't produce any avian influenza, and we don't have any plan for this.
Just want to add to it that we have been thinking about it several times. One of the trouble is that this is a very contagious disease, and we are free of it, or supposedly free of it in Europe, and the authorities are looking at us with, so they actually, to be very straightforward, they prefer for us not to investigate in this kind of disease, and they're putting all kind of trouble every time we raise the issue of making research in avian influenza. But for the time being, and that I think will be valid for the next 5 years, we will not have a vaccine for that.
Can you tell me frankly, what is the status of avian influenza problem, all over the world?
All over the world. Can you just repeat the question?
Globally, what is the status of this outbreak, its impact on poultry industry world over?
So do you have any update?
Yes, well, avian influenza is always a concern. It has been for many years. As for myself speaking, I don't have an exact map on how the situation is right now. I'm sorry, I cannot give you a technically correct response to this, but it is for sure a concern not only in India, in many countries, and it doesn't seem like fading away. It's getting like, but one of the difficulties with avian influenza is that mutating all the time. So it's very difficult to develop a vaccine. That's one of the difficulties, is that whenever you think you're working on the right strain, then 2 years later it has changed. Yes.
And what are the diseases, you see, more dangerous, as on date, what are your plans of manufacturing, such vaccines for such problems, for such disease problems?
Which are the other diseases?
Other diseases, other than avian influenza?
Yes, I think, and I can share this already with you, you will see a lot of HIPRA products coming to India in the short middle term, meaning 1 to 2 years, related to coccidiosis. Coccidiosis is an area of special expertise in HIPRA, in both breeder layer, but also in broiler. You will see significant things coming to India in terms of product and related services. Another area that we want to come with more products with is Gumboro. In Gumboro we have right now one product in our portfolio, but if everything goes right, and that means if there are no unforeseen trouble in the regulatory process, we will have 2 more Gumboro vaccines in a time span of no more than 2 years, and one of them will be for hatchery vaccination. Okay. Other than that, there will be other diseases. Still, some of it is a little bit confidential, but I would say if you look at the next 3 years, coccidiosis and Gumboro is what you will see coming first.
Just would like to add one thing what Peter has said, the way you said, which are the dangerous diseases. ND is a major disease worldwide, and as I have already mentioned that we are the specialist in clone technology. So we are having a big range of ND vaccines, ND clone plus IV H120. So we are also having the focus to make sure that our customers should get solutions from the ND. because this is also mutating and creating a lot of issues.
Do you find any problems, from Indian government to import these vaccines? Are you finding any difficulty, or it went through all your process of importing of vaccines?
Until now, we have been the 5 vaccines that are available now at the first stage. It has been going, I would say, nice and smooth. Of course, the Indian authorities are demanding, as it is expected from the industry. That's normal. That's not any different from any other country. And we will see how it goes with the next vaccines. We are already in an advanced stage for the next registrations. I think it's going well. It's also true that for us, being a new company in India, with time, we will have to get to know each other better. I mean, there are rules, there are protocols, everything is written down, but we will, I think, when we get to know each other better, with the authorities, when exactly they have their committees and when are decisions taken, that for sure will improve a little bit our own registration dossiers and when they are presented and so on. But so far so good. We have been successful, and I think it can only improve from now onwards.
Mr. Peter, hello. One of the smart vaccination part is that HIPRA spray device. But can we accept the same bioavailability, 100% bioavailability we got from vaccine? It will provide the same amount of bioavailability if we use HIPRA spray?
Yes, this spray vaccination device is really state of the art. It's very effective. We have been developing it completely ourselves. We guarantee, this is one of the products on which we will even propose a guarantee contract, meaning that if you use the vaccine in the conditions that we are proposing, then we give you on paper a guarantee that the vaccination will be successful. It's a very good device. We have been thinking about, I'm not going into technical details now, but one of the nice things about it is also the traceability that I was underlining before, so that you will have data on your smartphone or on your iPad about how many birds have been vaccinated.
Will it provide in vivo traceability also? In vivo, after in the body? The availability of drug or that antibody?
No.
That we have to do with the titer testing and everything. That can be done, but that's not so. This is unique. That can be done anyway. It's not a problem. Yeah.
Dimensions about traceability is about how you implement the vaccine. You can follow up in iPhone, iPads, when you implement how is the doses, the batches, and so on. But in vivo is different. You need to test with the titer, ELISA test kits. This is different concept. Okay, thank you.
Is the device available in the market?
Yes, but not in India yet. Yeah, in the process with the new registration of the new products.
And how old is HIPRA with manufacturing vaccines? Since how long you are?
Where they were buying an existing company, a name, I would really say that vaccine production and marketing started in 1973. 1973. Yes. And first of all, Spain, that was a home market. At that time, Spain was still a very closed country, so we were not that international at that time. But I would say that from the 1990s, we have been going really international. And first we worked with importers, and step by step, we have been setting up our own subsidiaries. Yes, the international process started around 1990 and has been growing all the time. It's in the, I think it's in the press release. It's a family-owned company by the family Nogareda. This is the second generation, and the third generation is ready. Besides the family, there are around 100 employees that have a minor share also in the company, and that is the total ownership. And we don't have any plan to go to the stock market. We want to keep it like this.
Any other questions?
What are your plans, what is the kind of distribution, sales and marketing network and service network you have in India?
Yeah, as far as distribution network is concerned, we have business partners across India, which are having, like in West, South, then Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, North, East India, and all these esteemed business partners are present here, starting with Mr. Datta Siva Subramaniam, sir. Seven. And
then sales and technical services.
Yeah. So we are total 9 people. So I am a business manager, then followed by a technical and marketing manager, Dr. Kakoli. We have 5 key account managers who are responsible for the different zones across India. And we have finance and admin manager, Ms. Priyanka, and assisted by Mr. Rajendra Mist, who looks after also the logistics part. So we are a team of 9 people. Out of these, 5 are key account managers present across India. Yeah.
You said that the company has a business turnover of 350. Can you give more clarity?
Yes, I'm sorry if this information was not clear from the start. The turnover this year, at the end of this year, is expected to be around $350 million US. So that's the equivalent of around 315 million euro.
It's a calendar year.
Yeah, yes, a calendar year, exactly, yes.
If there is no question, can we go for the vote of thanks? I would like to request Panisha to give vote of thanks.
So I would like to thank you all of you very much for joining our press conference, and also thank you our partner in different areas, our HIPRA India team who held these events. Thank you very much. As you see our presentation, I hope that it raises your confidence with our companies. Actually, we come here as India is a very important country, and HIPRA India is a very important project for us. And the most important for HIPRA, we would like to be your reliable partner in prevention. Thank you very much.